All right, here we are in game number 1 of the final quarterfinals here today in the Aureil Stormgate Invitational. And this one is starring Mixu in the blue Vanguard. And his opponent is Grimmy in the red Celestial. And Grimmy is already moving out on the map with the surged Arc ship. We'll see what his plans are for that one. Yes, this is going to be cast from a replay. And we do see the Arc ship continuing out, but the surge is gone now, so he's taken the surge off. That might be to access that power, so he doesn't have to put down another power bank. But still moving out, and the dog of Mixu has scouted it. Now there is a Morph Core, adding some defense, if you will, shooting down its little tickle ray. And we have overcharged Bobs moving out, and they're not going to build a base here. Where are they headed? Where are you headed, you silly little guys? We have a Lancer dog trying to creep here, another dog added. So, oh no, poor buddy, almost got surrounded there. Yeah, you want them on your Lancer instead. Still haven't been able to kill any of these. This is the chaotic nature of these Shadow Mastiffs. Can't just sort of focus fire one at a time. They all jump around and cause you to retarget, or cause you to run around and be all out of position while you're taking damage. Okay, so what's Grimmy got going on? His Arc ship floated back. Is that right? Maybe he put down that collection array there. But his Arc ship has floated back, and he has a creation chamber on the way. Has ignored these bases for now. And okay, here's where the Bobs were going. They were going for this Buzzsaw Cannon creep maneuver, and we did see this out of Mixu in an earlier game. And he is going to take out this Luminite camp kind of early with this strategy. And remember this... Oh, okay, so I was wondering what was going to go on there. He was using the Buzzsaw Cannon to tank at first, but he swapped it out for a repair turret so he could repair up the dogs. So the Pup Force 5, is trying to make its way across, and it just maybe did little scouting and backed off. It saw that there was a Starforge there. It maybe got a chance to see the Ascension Matrix. And what are we seeing here? Okay, Vector Recall. So this is going to be a Vector build. Maybe that's something that Mixu can already tell just from the buildings. And the Vectors are going to start by just trying to take out the energy camp here while they build up their critical numbers. And we have a lot of dogs here. Not exactly sure how the dog versus Vector interaction works. I think both of them get bonus damage versus light. Both of them are light. So that, you know, that means they are kind of good versus each other. But who wins that battle? They're both speedy. Only difference is Vectors can attack at range and can do their little recall and delta jump ability. And we do have hedgehogs being added now for Mixu as well. And same thing, the hedgehogs, now do they do their bonus versus heavy. Maybe dogs are maybe a little bit better choice. The only difference, of course, being dogs are melee units, so they got to close on top of the Vectors, and the Vectors are very maneuverable. Okay, alright, now, immediately we see Grimmy lifts off. He does summon the Sovereign's Watch. The vectors jump on top of these units, trying to focus down a hedgehog. They get it. Also trying to focus down a lancer. They get it. Then doing the recall so that they heal. So already in a dangerous state with these vectors. They're going to jump on top of this hedgehog, take it out. So again, this is pretty dangerous. They're going to find this sentry post. Not much that can be done there. There are not really any good units to put in there. A dog, I think, just makes it a vision post. It doesn't add any attack ability. Hedgehogs are too big to get in there. They're just big, bulky cars. You can't park them in there. A scan going down so that he can jump onto the other side of the wall. And then he can use the recall ability. And indeed, he is doing some nice recall micro to keep these vectors alive. Remember, when they recall, they heal back to the health they were at before. So most of these vectors are at full, even after sniping Bobs and doing this whole push. Here they do it again. See, they delta jump forward so that they can tank a bit. And, ooh, that one went down. Usually you want to micro them. Wow. They made short work of those units, too. Thought it might take them longer to take out the creeps. Do a scan there to see if there's something to delta jump on top of, but there was nothing. So they go back to creeping. Hedgehog's moving out. They're going to see these 3 vectors. They're going to catch them, but the vectors, good micro from Grimmy to move them away. Now Mixu, oh, he's added a Vulcan. Now Vulcan can do pretty well against the vectors if they have a chance to fight them. A shield going down on the Vulcan just to keep it alive. Another Vulcan being added. Jumping on top of the Vulcan, trying to focus it down. Using the recall ability to heal those units back up. There's just so many vectors now. And again, a jumping on top of a Vulcan, focusing this one down. And now recalling back some of the units to keep them alive. Ooh, and another one and another one. Great micro from Grimmy, keeping all his vectors alive. Not sure if he lost a single one there. A few of them are low on health, though. Another delta jump to steal this away, and again just to recall back if they get caught by this army. And all of them delta jump away. That time was just to get away. Not likely that they're going to recall back here. So Mixu's units reclaim the Luminite Tower, and they're going to push back out. They're going to try and be aggressive, it looks like. There is this base here. It's still a link node, although it's now upgrading. It's going to be a little late to push back this aggression. We get a Sovereign's Watch down, but that's a lot of focus fire damage. A nice delta jump to get those units there as quick as possible, and some nice recall micro to keep them alive. But it looks like one of them goes down, and then, or sorry, the collection array goes down, and now there's this Vulcan here just chewing on vectors. Also with his own jump jets into, probably going to take out this collection array. But there are sabers here now. Sabers are a good counter. They do the bonus damage. Another jump jet on top of the sabers, but not quite close enough to stun them. And the vectors trying to jump on top. Ooh, taking out another Vulcan and chasing the hedgehogs away. We have one Vulcan over here getting a repair massage from those Bobs. Alright, vectors chase the hedgehogs all the way back, but another Vulcan comes to be in a nice defensive position there. Okay, sabers. The big, slow uncles of the vector. The vectors are short and fast. The sabers are big and slow. And Hedgehog and Vulcan moving this way. I imagine, no, I thought they might stop for the creep camp. Yeah, they did. Okay, so maybe the Hedgehogs were just moving forward a little bit there to scout. Hey, is there an army there? I don't want to creep this if I'm not in an advantageous position. And knowing where they can get the Bruiser to glitch out there. So good micro from Mixu, keeping his units right at that range so they're going to run back and forth and not do any damage. And then going to gain this. Now it looks like these camps have also been retaken by Grimmy. And Grimmy took the health camp and it looks like he's starting to move out. 6 saber, that's a big saber force. Once you get a kind of critical mass of sabers, they really start melting units. As we can see how fast these shadow demons go down to them. Shadow demons aren't exactly squishy units. Okay, so they blinked in, but they zoot out. They just want to get to safety. Back to their sabers. Again, Vector's really speedy, but if they want to use those sabers as protection, they have to stay close to them. Alright, a Vulcan knocking down some trees there. So Mixu's army looking pretty good itself. Adding the Gravens now, and I think that could be very helpful. Using some jump jets to take this down, but unfortunately these Vulcans are standing in the front, making all those Hedgehogs just have some pathing failure there. Oh, and there are some Vectors who came and jumped on top of this mining base, taking out some Bobs. The Vector's now in retreat. And Hedgehogs and Graven, as well as, yeah, they're the Vulcans. And is Mixu going to be aggressive now? They're starting to both move into the middle of the map. The Gravens jump out, but so do the Vectors. The Vectors get on top of the Gravens, but the Gravens actually... Oh, no, 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 no! Friendly Fire taking out his own Graven. Unfortunately. So pretty much staying on this Starforge tech here for Grimmy. Vectors, lots of Vectors. Adding more Sabers, it looks like. And is he adding any other kind of tech? Lots of Starforges back there. 2 different arc ship and an arc station. And here are the Vectors, again, harassing down below, killing out some of these Bobs on this new base. Ooh, more Bobs going down here. And a flank trying to be put down by Mixu and doing a pretty good job. Actually almost blocking them all the way off there. They recalled back. That was not great. Losing some of the Vectors and a lot of the Vectors actually. And a sticky bomb going down. Ooh, all of them slowed down. More Vectors going to be taken out. The sticky bomb really is a good counter here. And we end up with just 2 Vectors in retreat. So Grimmy's supply takes a huge hit there. He did get some harass done, but lost all those Vectors. Instead, wow, all he's got is this giant mass of Sabers. Now, these can be super good. You just hope they don't have, you know, a bunch of flying units. Then you're going to be in trouble. But this can do quite well against a ground army, especially a heavy ground army. Not necessarily the army that Mixu has, though. And here we have Mixu moving out. Is this going to be enough to push Grimmy down? He's going to use his jump jet? No, he's just going to shoot from the other side there, but... yeah, those Sabers can also shoot from the other side, and they have a huge raid. Both Vulcans already going down. A Sarvan's Watch pushing them back. A couple lone Vectors push out to try and tease the units. Then we get the Gravens jumping on top. They're trying to focus fire down some of these sabers, but we're going to see who wins this battle. Looks like a lot of Gravens also went down. So many sabers. No real front line for the sabers. They're their own front line. Nice micro by Grimmy to make that sticky bomb not be as effective. And now the hedgehogs, they're way more maneuverable than those sabers. They're going to come over here and they're going to take out Grimmy's base. But here come the sabers. A shield going down, a couple different shields from these sentinels above. The Gravens leap forward. They all get taken out by the sabers. But now it's going to be hedgehogs versus sabers. The hedgehogs doing the bonus damage. We're now getting some of these stasis drones on the sabers so they can't fire. And all the sabers get cleaned up. A few more sabers hiding back at the base. And that's it for those sabers. Now Mixu's going to rotate back over here and try and take out this base. A nice shield going down from the sentinel again. Keeping these units safe. And he takes out some of the power banks and then gets pulled back as more sabers arrive. Try and harass from the back. Some more sticky bombs going down. And all these sabers again pushed back into their base. A couple stasis drones going down, but not finishing them off. Instead, again, just rotating back, take out power banks, taking out some of these arrays. Actually, there's a bunch of prisms down here, and that's a GG out of Grimmy. Okay, here we are in game number 2 of this best of 5. And this is going to be Grimmy in the blue against his opponent Mixu in the red Vanguard. Vanguard versus Celestial. Grimmy's flying across the map again with his arc ship, as you do. That's what you do when you have a flying town hall. You just fly it around. You go on a vacation. Although, interesting, he's gone for a Therium Purifier opening. Not only does that allow you to, of course, mine some Therium quickly, it gives you a free prism. Oh, I don't know if it's free. You pay for it. But it comes with. And what's he got here? Another... Oh, it's a prism. I thought it might be another morph core. Okay, I think I've seen this build before. I think I've seen it. Let's see what happens here. So we're going heavy on the Therium so far. Creation Chamber coming up. There's another morph core. And we get a... Is this a sentry post? Okay, I'm like... It can't be a habitat. Oh, okay. We did see this out of Mixu before, which was using this as a buzzsaw can. I actually haven't seen this version. Can they out-tank? I think we saw earlier that they can out-tank the Bruiser, but maybe not all 3 units at the same time. A lot of micro needed for this particular maneuver. And did we... Oh, I thought we might have seen one dog go down. No, we didn't. Again, a lot of micro needed here. These dogs need to be controlled. The repair turret needs to be refocused on the weaker units. One dog almost going down here, but still doing fine. More dogs keep arriving. One of the creeps finally down, the second creep down, and another dog out on the map here. And what is going on? Oh, okay, so Grimmy did make a Legion Hall over here. And there... Okay, I thought that was a Seraphim. Nope, that's a Prism. So do we have... Okay, there's the first Seraphim. Maybe... Okay, I'm like, maybe there's already one out on the map. There is not. Wish I had a units tab that I could check that without having to click on every little blue square. But here is our Arc Station, which is now upgrading to an Arc Fortress. This base, or this camp got taken out. Now these dogs, okay. Do these still give mints? They must give mints because he's attacking them. So I think they give like 15 resources each or something. That's not a lot, but hey, it's better than nothing. And now we have hedgehogs coming out. Now, they're coming to take the speed camp, but I don't know if they know what's going on over here. There is an arc fortress just flying right on by. That's got to be a huge signal. Like, oh, why is there an arc fortress just flying along here? And now these dogs are on top of the power bank. Their power bank's going to go down for sure. I don't know about the Legion Hall here. We're down to the power bank. Grimmy's power is low. I don't see... Where is the Seraphim? There's the Seraphim there. And Grimmy's now in the main base with his Fates, and he's focusing on the mech bay. And trying to get the repair in fast enough, but... Oh, bye-bye, mech bay. Saw money there. Dollar sign. Does that mean it got salvaged? I don't know. Maybe I'll learn that one day. Oh, another melt. This one on the repair turret. More money. More money. Dollar sign. And here we go. Another Fate's End. Wow. How many times can you do that? I don't know. But as long as you have energy for it, you can keep doing it. And... so far, okay, another power bank on the low ground. If you are facing this, taking out the power banks is the way to go because they re-energize up the laser beam. So the dog's taking out the power bank on the low ground, also good. We have, it looks like going to be another laser beam coming. Do we have another laser beam? Or are we just trying to get out of there, Grim? Power banks on this side now. And again, the dogs come running out. More popping. But here comes Fate's End. Ooh, a nice shield going down. So this is a rampart. That shield is just keeping it alive. Yeah, that was not a good use of it. These dogs here still taking out the power banks. Hard for Grimmy to get a real power bank up and going. And there we go with another laser beam, but on another rampart, which has the bonus armor from the shield and now the repair out DPSing it. So there's a Hornet on top of this. That's GG out of Grimmy. Okay, here we are in game number 3 between these two. This is Mixu in the blue Vanguard and his opponent Grimmy in the red Celestial. Tried the old laser beam rush last game on Ruination and lost it. Was not able to be victorious. And let's see what he's going to do now. He is flying his arc ship out again a little aggressively, so he might be trying it for a second time. But again, he did lose already to this strategy, so maybe he won't. Now I'll notice he did not put down the purifier this time, so that's probably an indication he's not going for that, at least not for a rush. Maybe we'll see that a little bit later in the game. And Mixu has opened with a Rax, got a couple on Therium, pretty normal. Got some Bobs headed out. My guess, based on his most recent play there, is he's going to build the sentry post over here. And what do we have behind a dog? So Repair-O-Matic? That's my guess. Repair-O-Matic. Try and take out this camp. And let's see what Grimmy's up to. He's got his collection array there, another one there, so he's on to 3 arrays. His arc ship's moving out. But no creation chamber yet. A power bank. And dogs chewing on a collection array. take a couple bites, but then they decide to run away. And we have a Morph Core summoned and heading out to maybe put down another array over here. While the Repair-O-Matic is done, the Bob's inside. This Bob decided to carry some Luminite with him. He just didn't care. And they're going to go for the Luminite camp first over the Therium camp. The Bob is the one who's doing the tanking. And the Bob, this is what we saw him do last time. And I think this is very cool. The Bob can basically be out-repaired with the Repair-O-Matic and tank the whole thing. I don't think the dogs can necessarily. Maybe they can. But when we saw him do this on Ruination, he had to micro his dogs a lot more. But this looks like it's working out really good for him. And even though it's kind of slow moving on this creep, the Repair-O-Matic is allowing him, the DPS from the creep is just not fast enough or not high enough to kill any of these units. And I think we're just going to see it happen again. And yeah, okay, a little bit more micro this time. I think trying to get the units to focus in the right way. Or maybe it's just the dogs are not quite as tanky. I mean, how many hit points do we got out of Bob? 130. Scout is 144. So, well, this is Veteran rank 1, 144. Ooh, the Bob goes down. So, okay, so at some point there is the risk of loss in this strategy. And we see that that Bob did go down. But both of these camps creeped with very little cost, to be honest. So really cool strategy there out of Mixu. And now Grimmy wants to move, it says. But Grimmy has a nice little static D with SimCity here on this base. He's got some sort of backward power banks and Guardian Nexus here. I don't see a strike node. And nothing yet defending this base. So the dogs do have some targets they could get to if they could scout it. I don't think they've scouted that base yet. Now this Prism, I'm not sure. What are you doing there? Probably had to run away. He's low on health. But yeah, Hedgehogs being added here. Where are those? The rest of the dogs. They're just searching for more arrays, I guess. Why they didn't go for this array, I don't know. So coming to steal these from the back, and the Argents here of Grimmy are kind of slow moving. Considerably less maneuverable than the dogs and the hogs. And now we see dogs trying to pick away here, but the Guardian Nexus isn't really the best target. It's kind of a tough building in a search that gives bonus army to nearby, bonus armor, sorry, to nearby buildings. Arwen's Watch going down. Are they going to get this Lancer? I think so. Yeah, the Lancer goes down. And now these Argents are pushing over here to these camps. They are maybe... Oh, I thought they were going to change their mind, but they're going to come and take this camp. Can always split off a few of them and capture the other camp at the same time. And now, okay, they sieged up here. So the Argent's engaging the Hedgehog. One Hedgehog is going to go down. There's no micro right now. Okay, now the units are being microed away. And they get on top of this power bank. They're trying to do some damage. There are Kree over here that have to chase them some more. One Kree goes down here to some Hedgehog micro. Okay, so the Hedgehog's back to creeping over here. A bunch of Argents making their way through the light forest. They're going to creep out their vision camp as well. And now some Kree here want to clean up the sentry post. I kind of like this, sort of like a little meat farm. There's no unit there to hold it or capture it, but it does delay the capturing because they have to take it out or they have to send a big enough force. And now we have a bunch of dogs and hogs getting on top of these Kree. They're going to retake the Therium, but now Argents are showing up. Ooh, the dogs get delayed right at the last second from recapturing this. One dog goes down, the other one escapes. But the hogs and dogs sort of try and getting into some positioning. Now that the Argents are out of position, can they get some damage done? Looks like they're going to aim to go up here, where a Sovereign's Watch already gets called. They're going to focus fire down on the collection array, and boom, it goes down. Now there's a bunch of Kree that come in from behind. The Vulcan wants to fight with them. Ooh, there he goes. Getting 2 or 3 of them. We see a Cabal showing up. And using gravity flux on the Vulcan so that the Kree can get a surround. And these hedgehogs getting pushed back. Okay, so this force now turned to creeping. And it looks like Mixu's going to bash down some trees. Likely preparing for an expansion there eventually. Or maybe to harass expansions that may have already been placed there by the Celestial. And again, trying to get on top of a collection array. Manages to do so and kills another collection array. So despite taking the strike, no damage and the Sovereign's Watch. 2 collection arrays have already gone down. This one's back up though. And okay, so now a pretty aggressive force from Grimmy. He's got some Cabals mixed in there. That's good against this more mobile force. Also, we saw already good against the Vulcans. And pushing up the ramp, get a couple buildings, take out a couple buildings. And now we get a gravity flux on 2 hedgehogs. They get focus fire down. But there are hedgehogs coming in from behind with a nice flank. Bob's on the other side, overcharged, trying to fight with Kree. Not the best matchup. And the hogs in the back also a little bit outnumbered, but the flank has forced these units back. Another Cabal goes down. Purify, sort of useless actually. Cast as the units were moving out. Just trying to power them up a little bit as they walk by. And here are some new units, reinforcing units that do have the power. And we see another gravity flux go down. And back to creeping, it looks like. Okay, so the Hedgehog and Vulcan army. Gonna recapture these towers. And it looks like we might be back into a bit of a solo creeping phase as we see the resource towers have respawned. Okay, hedgehogs are coming across. There is a Vulcan here. Again, they're just trying to do some damage, I think. Retaking the energy camp. While these units are going to take out the Therium camp. Now, the energy camp's really useful for the Celestial unit. Especially this particular composition. The Argents benefit from it and the Cabals. Of course, the Cabals without energy are kind of useless, so you really want to keep them. Now, this energy camp looks like it got retaken, but did it respawn? Or did they just not take the camp? I wasn't watching on the minimap. Okay, sitting underneath the arc ships to get healed up. Now there's 2 of them there. That means double the rate at which those healing spells can be cast. And now Hedgehog's coming in the back door and taking out some more buildings. Took out the collection array. Pretty good harass from Mixu. Not having to engage into this army necessarily yet. As we see, the Cabals could be kind of a pain in the butt. Breeze surrounding the Vulcan. It gets taken out. But after the striking down the collection ray, they just retreat. And Grimmy his critical mass is getting pretty big. It's got a little bit of a supply lead now. More units coming to join. And a couple debilitates going down on the hedgehogs. If he can clean up this hedgehog army, he's going to have a real good push force. Another hedgehog goes down. A lot of cabals in this army. And again, the debilitates, gravity fluxes going down to take out some of these hedgehogs before they can kite away. Okay, and these Kree get on top of some bobs. They're going to try and take them out. They're actually going to take out this base, it looks like. And a whole bunch of hedgies with some bobs in tow. I'm going to try and deal with it. Now, if the bobs can get the repair on there, yeah, they are. So this is going to stay up. And the Kree get chased away. Atlas now. A little bit of Atlas micro. Actually, the evac gets gravity fluxed. So as long as the evac can stay away from these cabals, you can use that micro. Otherwise, might get caught out. Grimmy's moving back. And Mixu's back out on the map trying to reclaim some of these camps. So these camps all respawning. But now we got sabers here. Boom. Trying to take it out. Indeed do. And more cabals in the back with a little bit of micro from that Atlas we see as it gets dropped. But these units really want to take out this base. So the Argents and the Kree. Ooh, they're going to focus fire now. Yep. Here come the hedgehogs. The command post went down. There's just so many cabal here. We're seeing lots of debilitates. We see gravity fluxes. And we are seeing Atlas shots from the back here occasionally come in. Yeah, every time that Atlas gets dropped down. And do notice that the Atlas shots go a little faster now. They used to be a little bit easier to dodge. They travel faster across the map. Okay, more sabers being added. And the sabers can shoot from far away, so despite the kite ability of these hedgehogs, the sabers have enough range that they can still get their shots off. Atlas is trying to get their shots off. Not really given enough time. There we go, saber push. And good dodging by the sabers. Lots of skirmishing here in the center of the map. Both teams trying to use their siege units to get pot shots off while they're at far range. Couple Atlases go down. Ooh, some really nice shots from those Atlases. Couple sabers going down. Ooh, good shots on both sides. Okay, a couple Atlas shots dodged by the Kree, and Grimmy moving back. Okay, Mixu's moving into this space again where there is a collection array and it's largely undefended. Gonna take out some power banks too. A little overextended here if he's trying to retreat back out there. There's a scan from Grimmy to see what's up there. He continues to push in. Now these units are a little bit out of position for Mixu. He's being forced back up this ramp. And these trees have not been taken down yet, so he doesn't really have a retreat path back there. At some point he has to turn and fight. And the Kree, for some reason it's just the Kree of Grimmy that have pushed forward. Alright. More shots from Atlas is taking out so many Cabal here. Those Cabal are some of the important tech for Grimmy, and we're watching them go down. He is still managing to get some good use out of them, getting some gravity fluxes, and of course debilitates. I think the problem here is that Mixu's army is not backing up into his own reinforcement line. He's just backing up into a dead end. And yeah, the evacs grab the tanks and get out of there while the hedgehogs and medtechs get cleaned up. Atlas is on the other side of the trees trying to get some shots off, and that's actually some good shots. The Atlases there have been getting some great efficient trades, while the rest of the units unfortunately all got sacrificed in that retreat. So this Morph Gore here wanted to take a base, but that base has already belonged to Mixu. Okay, creeping out the vision camp here. We're getting into the late game here. As I mentioned, this base already taken. We have this base taken. So on Mixu, he's kind of taking this whole right side of the map. And Grimmy, well, also, oh, it's just an a prism there. This base keeps getting denied, and here it is denied again. If anything's going to tell the tale of this match, I think it is going to be Mixu with these good denial plays with his hedgehogs. Oh, we do see the force of Grimmy here now pushed down onto this base. And it's actually done a great job of wiping out all those bobs. So we'll see if he's able to use this. That's now base denied by him as well. So his bases are getting denied, but he's also denying bases. So that's a great way to get back in this. His supply is much higher. Mixu's been playing more of a harass game, whereas Grimmy's been building this death ball. Sabers and Atlases trading shots back and forth as they have been for a few minutes now. So half the army left behind. I'm not sure if that, yeah. Is that intentional? Okay, so now all the units moving into the middle, where we do see a base has been started by Grimmy. Grimmy's added some sides now to this mixture as well. Hedgehog there sieged up to try and keep the size at bay, and now Grimmy having to be pushed out. Actually, some more hedgehogs getting over here. So Mixu's style of being kind of hit and run, skirmishy, pulling his units back when they get out of position has been helpful, although those units get cleaned up. He's just doing a good job of keeping Grimmy in too many places at once. Grimmy's prisms zooting across the map. But Grimmy now pushing into the center army, and again, the skirmishing style means that Mixu doesn't really want to fight toe-to-toe ever. And, you know, one way Grimmy might be able to force things is by pushing right into the base. It's not clear that Grimmy has enough forces to do that. Here comes some Bobs trying to come over and take this base. Unfortunately, there's already a base there. So Grimmy is going to try and go over and take it, but this is at the same time Mixu's going to want to defend. Here come Mixu onto these back units. Ooh, some nice shots with the Atlas, killing one of the Sabers. Also getting some Argents. More Argents going down. So pretty good push. So where Mixu unfortunately lost so many of his units before, he is going to be able to push Grimmy back. Now, are you going to go and finish off that base, Mixu? Where are you headed? Back down here. Oh, getting another stasis drone. And some nice drops from the Atlas. It's starting to look a little bit dire for Grimmy. More of his Atlases going, or sorry, his Sabers going down. And now are we going to push up here? We have the Bob still. And down here, we're battling over the corners here. Both players need these as part of their economy. We have a single sentry post here, just fighting off against the Kree. Now if those Bobs started repairing it, would be doing okay. So the Bobs come back, and they're going to be mining. Now, that's long distance if I ever seen it. Kree getting on top here. And meanwhile, Kree and Saber's trying to get this base too. So Mixu, having some kind of eco advantage, is now going to be harassed on multiple fronts. Sabers are do a pretty good job of a mineral line too. Even though that's not exactly what they're for. These prisms just trying to mine here. And now it looks like this base might be going down too. Atlas is from the high ground, raining down some of their lightning bolts. Lightning energy. I don't know what it looked like lightning to me. I assume that's what that is. Dicky bombs going down on some Kree. More Saber blasts coming in. More Atlas shots coming in. Saber's trying to take out buildings. Atlas is trying to clean up these units. Now a bunch of units coming into the middle of the map, getting their anti-air off on these prisms. Boom, 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 boom. Prisms just popping everywhere. Huge harass on the eco here. And we now have this base up, but it looks like these Kree are headed over there. Real scrappy game. Real scrappy. Now they're fighting out in the middle at just a handful of units against this, I guess, death ball out of Mixu. It's also super mobile. And now we've got these Kree trying to take out the command posts, and Hedgehog's showing up. Want to go toe to toe. We got a shield going down on all the hogs. Atlas is in the back firing off their shots. But the Hedgehogs don't want to just go toe to toe with these. We saw some nice stasis drones on the Sabers here. So Mixu is actually going to say he's doing a good job of cleaning it up, but then a bunch of Sabers appear on the right hand side, pushing him back to his base here. He's going to want to stay and fight with this base. Doesn't want it to go down, and indeed, there goes some Sabers pushing it back. Bye-bye, Sabers. Here comes the collection array just wanting to collect somewhere. I think that means, yeah, no collection array here, no collection array here. We are in red power. That's not good. And we have a command post going down in the middle now for Mixu. So many bases going up, so many bases getting denied. Both players have had multiple bases denied. This base is now kind of up and running. This poor collection array just wishes it flew faster. And now the Hedgehogs and Atlases are right in the base, taking out Legion Halls, taking out power banks. Ooh, back into the red for Grimmy. This is not looking good. These Bobs finish off the base here, but Kree are coming in to harass. And that's enough to force Mixu back. Mixu doesn't want to lose all those Bobs to just a handful of Kree. Meanwhile, speaking of which, here are a handful of Kree coming to take out a bunch of Bobs. Are they turning to fight? They are, but with that repair kind of micro on, they tank those Kree. Oh my goodness. And we see some Hedgehogs here coming trying to clean it up. These Kree running away. It's because the Hedgehog's here. There aren't even any units there in terms of workers to try and deal damage, because it's not a mining base. And there we go. That's an invisibility turret or something. That's with a Raven inside of it. I didn't even see it myself until it appeared with its sticky bomb. And these Kree are going to be chased away. But again, super scrappy. Here we are at 26 minutes in. Crazy scrappy. And once again, getting on top of these Bobs. A repair turret there might be able to keep these Bobs alive. Poor Kree, you're supposed to be good against Bobs. Who told you that you're actually bad against Bobs? All of them being taken care of. Meanwhile, down here we have another engagement as this base is being denied. And that's going to be a GG out of Grimmy.